What's up, everybody? It's your boy right here. It's Power Impact Comics. And today's video, I will be discussing with you guys, the public, about my thoughts on the Eternals movie and what I thought about it and its placement in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But before I begin this video, I want you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share the video because it really does help my channel out when y'all share the videos or like the videos. It really does, and I do appreciate every single one of y'all for subscribing and listening to my thoughts. I greatly appreciate you so much. But let's begin this video. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the timeline because for me personally, I was kind of like a little confused on the timeline at one point when I was watching it because they were switching back and forth. Like it started in like the prehistoric time or whatever, the thousands of years ago, which is fine. I understood that. But when it came to the present, until they actually said it, I was like, okay, is this taking place? Because Marvel, when they do their movies, sometimes take place before an event. So that's how they normally do it. So I was just trying to figure out if that's what they were trying to do. But it ended up, we find out that it took place 5 years after the blip, as they call it, in the end games from Avengers Endgame. And what I will say is that Eternals actually proved Thanos right in the sense that when Thanos was talking to Gamora and was pretty much explaining to her that he's like the only one that understands the universe and that he can save everyone and all that. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit. And and Gamora's like, no, you're not the only one. And he's like, yeah, I am. This movie kind of proves it that he was actually right because of the simple fact is you had the Celestials that, for those who know, Celestials are pretty much the gods of Marvel or whatever, where they're the ones that created the mutants and the superhuman species, as well as the freezing the scrolls and the Kree's genetics and stuff, so they are who they are. While humans was able to continue to evolve, they're the ones that did that. And during this movie, you learn that Tiamat was supposed to be revived on Earth, but what ended up happening? Oh, I forgot to tell y'all this was a spoiler warning. God damn it! I went through all that and forgot to tell y'all this was a spoiler warning. But Tiamat, back to the schedule program of Tiamat, I think I said that right, but whatever. But Tiamat actually was supposed to awaken on Earth, but Thanos' 5-year blip when he used the Infinity actually stalled the process. So he was supposed to have been out sooner, but it was stalled by Thanos. And after the defeat of Thanos, the process ended up reinstating and restarting and all that. And again, it was, I would say that this movie, like Icarus was I felt like they made him like such a Superman knockoff to the extreme. Like this dude was just doing nothing but shooting eye lasers all the time, his cosmic eye beams. And it was pretty funny watching him like constantly. Like it's funny to watch him constantly do that and shooting eye lasers. Also want people to know that Thanos is actually a deviant. He's an eternal deviant. Is why he looks so different from the other deviants. So you had your eternal humanoid looking deviants, then you had the deviants that look alien. So Thanos is actually an eternal and he's a deviant and all that. And he's like the strongest eternal. The only other one, the second one, would be actually Gilgamesh. And let me tell y'all something. My boy got killed. Gilgamesh, the king of heroes. That's the one thing. They had all the names of the characters were based off of some form of Greek to Sumerian, Babylonian. I'm calling it Babylonian because the word, but mythology. So you had Hephaestus, you had Icarus, you had Gilgamesh, you had all these different characters. I'm forgetting all their names at the moment, but you had all these characters. My boy, Athena and all them, but my boy Gilgamesh, the king of heroes. Let me tell y'all, I thought he was one of the coolest characters in this movie, and then they end up killing him off. And I want to say that this deviant, I want to say I'm gonna call it deviant lord or whatever. That deviant was pretty sweet. I really wish that Marvel would have done more with that character. Honestly, I do wish that they like did a little bit more with that deviant, but they end up not doing too much with it. But they in typical Marvel fashion, they end up killing off a really cool character. And I do personally believe that he should have been utilized more and should have been utilized as a main villain for a next movie or something, because he was pretty sweet. Like that was one of the that deviant was one of the best villains in Marvel. And then when he started talking and you didn't expect that, it was like, man, this thing is talking too. Shit, shit was crazy. So another thing that they had going on that I didn't even know, but I'm gonna get to that later. I want to talk about Athena and how she was the goddess of war, and she was interesting. Angela Jolie played a really really good role because she didn't have a lot of talking. She was more of a fighter, which was cool. I liked the what I will say is when they were in the past and how the humans were the humans were killing each other and how they wasn't allowed to interfere, and how there were decisions on that, and how one group felt like should help, the other felt like they couldn't because it was Arisium's law or whatever. I thought that's pretty cool because you don't want specific beings to overtake human nature, and they want the humans to evolve. And then Hephaestus lost faith in humans with the Hiroshima bombing and all that, which that shit was crazy in real life. I'm talking about real life. That shit was psycho in real life. But um I will say that there was also some things I didn't like. For example, the things that I actually did not like the most was that it's a global wide threat, and somehow the Avengers or the Guardians of the Galaxy, excuse me, Guardians of the Galaxy, they were unaware of this happening. Get the fuck out of here. I had a big prime problem because the Avengers would have been alerted. They ain't that goddamn busy to the point where they don't see that it's a global something global's happening. You don't feel the shakings, the earth shaking and all that. Like I had a real hard time believing that man, this stupid microphone. I had a real hard time believing that the Avengers or the Guardian of the Galaxy, somebody wouldn't have known that Tiamat was coming. So I want to say that I had a hard time believing that. Also, like I said, the past and the present, that part was cool and all. But like I said, the killing of the deviant lord, that deviant, I didn't like that. That was, like I said, that was pretty garbage. They could have literally utilized the character more. So that's what I didn't like. And the fact that they killed Gilgamesh, that was trash. They should have kept Gilgamesh, but they end up killing him off. And then um Icarus, man. Also, I wasn't really feeling Icarus like that either because yeah, Icarus is just I didn't think he was that sweet. Um, and as far as the girl, I forgot her name. She was envious of damn, I'm forgetting their name, but pretty much the little girl because she couldn't grow older because even she looked like a kid, but she's thousands of years old, but she still looked like a 12-year-old girl. I think what they're going to do with that is, she's going to get older and then become an eternal again. I'm calling that now. They return in whatever show that they return, or whether it's Doctor Strange or the Secret Invasion or whatever, they if Marvel's smart, they'll come out with a Blue Marvel movie and then have the Eternal show up in the Blue Marvel movie or the Blade movie. Just throwing it out there, but um, but like I said, that they if she shows up older, that's their excuse on why she looks different from when you saw her in Eternals, because now she can grow older. But that's judging if after the Eternals movie there's another time skip. See, people have to remember there may not be another time skip. Now I want to talk about the post-credit scenes, the most important one. Now we know that Dane, the character, is aka the Black Knight with the ebony blade and all that. But the one thing, um, a podcast of mine named Sean Two Stacks pointed out to me that I didn't think about, and that's Real Ninja Reviews, by the way, was that Mahershala Ali was actually in the movie, but you only hear his voice. It was like a little voiceover that they were doing where he was like, what are you going to do with that? That was Blade. So that was pretty interesting. And I thought that was pretty cool because I think I'm pretty positive Blade is showing up in Doctor Strange movie. But if you guys enjoyed my thoughts on this movie, hit the like button, hit that share button, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Whoops. I hit the wrong button.